You know, I want to record this video to tell the truth because I've stopped caring about perception, right? But yet, that doesn't mean I don't have hope for my future. But first, I need to set things straight with some things, you know. I just want to tell the truths from now on, so we'll do that. The first thing I want to say is that it makes me sad that my latest few videos have gotten less attention, less likes. I know it's like a scumbag thing to say that to some people, but to my mind it's just the whole truth. But I started getting it way more lately. What that means. But see, the thing is my niche is insanity, I'm convinced. And I'm convinced I'm quite a sane person as well. So how does that make sense at all, you know? When you think about it. Because if your niche is insanity, that means you comment upon, because you know I post vlogs that dictate my mind's thought process and so on. And since the insanity of life is this way of being where you do not have a care for what other people think of you. So in that sense, it's a beautiful thing. But the insanity part of life is to not be connected to the same fabric that resides within us. It is to be taken out of your own shelter in a metaphorical sense, and you know, you're no longer on your planet. And you are, but mentally you're no longer on your planet. And I could swear that, like, I understand music, right? But then I perform music or I write music. I've been working on instrumentals a lot. And the only thing I can think the whole time is this would be great, this would be perfect if I elaborated past the idea in a way which made total sense instead of just mostly made sense. I was going to say it made totalitarian sense, and what that would have meant to me is, well, a totalitarian movement is a movement that is forceful upon its commonalities, right? So I guess that would explain it on my ends. I just feel like so beautiful yet so heartbroken, so sad. I love posting these videos through my phone, even though there's no tags, just because it puts my thoughts out in the open, and I may have a legacy someday, even though it'll be small. Or I may become a musical genius. To me, there's a 5% chance I become maybe let's see here. My mind is actually telling me a 70% chance I become a musical genius and change the world forever as a direct result of it, like the next Kanye. Because the thing is I have an unlimited set of ideas. I noticed that, like, I have thousands of ideas for vocals sterilized and ready to go, you know. Each fits a different style and mood. I believe I have all that in my head from my earlier days when I was creatively genius as fuck. And then I grew mental health and I grew a lot worse, right? Okay, so I want to clarify on a few things, though. Materialization. I've spoken of this before. What is materialization? Well, materialization is a fictional term for summoning an object, an item in your reality. No, I think I'm a psychic, but I don't think I'll ever accomplish that or anything that is of note to people beyond healing my own mind, right? So I just need to put that out there to make that clear, I think, in like 7 videos, right? I've sort of spoken of how this is the truth, and yes, I did experience the illogical lie, and yes, I still do. But I don't think I'm going to accomplish the impossible as a direct result of seeing the crooked backbone to our planet, you know? I think it will all remain very neutral to itself, but maybe I'm being persecuted, who knows? See, the thing is I believe I was targeted, you know? And in a way, I feel it's going to track me my whole life. I feel we're all targets in a way. We're all just, some of us are chosen, some of us are not. You know, and it kind of depresses me. I could swear on that. And the truth is I feel like I'm a psychic, and the reason I say that is because I remove audio hallucinations from my reality from a very manual and literal perspective. But then positive voices stay, right? More logically driven voices, and they just consider my words more. But for a while, I live with total illogicalities, and I suspect it may still happen in the future, even though I am high on marijuana right now. You'd think it would activate more the illogicality of my life. But what do I mean by that, by the way? Well, we're supposed to be living in a consistent dimension where everything works upon the physical basis. So let's just leave it at that, in the sense that a lot of everything I've experienced does not work on the physical basis. I think people are perfectly wired to the physical dimension while I am not. Does that make sense? Or anyways, no one will get this video but me, and that's what makes me sad, because I think it's the most beautiful video ever. I think I'm really learning who I am more, and it makes me sad that no one will get this. Unless I did do the impossible, and I'm thinking about it again. See, the thing is when your voices tell you for fucking months, if not years, that you're gonna summon products one day, and they don't laugh, they don't judge, they just see it as fact. It starts to apply to your mind more, you start to consider it, and yeah, it's a delusion, fine, whatever. What if it happened one day? I mean, shit, dog, there's the supernatural, the mythical, the unknowns, the unexplained. Think about it. It exists, it's out there. Why do certain things exist anyways? You know, like there's some illogicalities within our constant that we just don't pay any mind to because everyone sees them. So what if everyone sees materialization? It's a summoning of a product, if I didn't say before. It's to make something appear out of thin air. How I think it works, okay? Because I've experienced assimilation pausing. And what that is, right? Is that I believe we pause in moments in time. We just don't realize that we pause. We just don't realize that we pause. But I think that we pause in moments in time, but that reality flows perfectly regardless. Because we are all computerized. We see things on a completely computerized standpoint as well, in the sense that our minds are within computerized fabric. I'm certain of this. That after death, we all wake up in a life after death. I just don't know how it's like. Except a part of me thinks it might be terrible. And a part of me thinks it might be great. But yeah. I'm just like venting things because this is what I've been going through. I've been seeing images on the floor that tell a story. You know, I've been seeing life play out in front of me. I literally forwarded my hallucinations through time in order to free myself from them, because the logical stance was that I was to be haunted during my timeline for the rest of eternity. So if you pretend that 600 billion years have passed, but you only do it through the hallucination's mind, well, the hallucination, it means that you are hallucinating your life if you are a hallucination. Because I believe that where hallucinations are set up, they're through an automated system, but they're set up by a sentient species, you know. Anyways, I kind of feel bailing out from that thought process, but it's heavy shit. Because, like, you know, we're all fabricated. I'm convinced we are. We're all created out of a logical stance, yet a logical impairment can often burden us. That's incredibly odd, yet fascinating. It screams bureaucracy. It does. And, see, the thing is I want you to consider perspective, okay? What if we're all just bet on? But let me tell you what I mean. So, the human mind is to persevere and to grow and to strengthen, or it is to wither and to worsen throughout time, right? Or it is to stabilize. But that doesn't matter as much to me. Because the point I want to drive to is that through the mind's progression is one key in fact, one point, which is that we are bound to never see lies. Like, people can lie and all, but if you are progressing, then you're not dealing with a health issue that would reverse your progression or prevent your progression. Now, if you are not progressing, then there's a very good chance that you've been captured. That's what I think. If you're regressing, then there's a very good chance you've been captured. Yes, the grand majority of society's people have been captured. And in order to not be captured, you need to be very rich or very talented. I noticed that. That means a capture inherently makes your mind worse. A non-capture lets you grow and evolve. But see, I've always considered a perspective. What if you utilize a capture to your advantage by just telling people who you are? The thing is, right, is that first of all, I believe I connected to the simulator of cynicism, to the simulator of sometimes good but mostly evil deeds. Yet I believe it has grown to like me. I don't believe it wants to hurt me, not anymore. Sure, there might be individual beings who would like to hurt me, but the consensus would be to not do so. Yet what does that mean? Well, it implies that there's sentience to the system at hand. It also means that, you know, we're all meant to grow past our problems, but isn't that a lie? I think it's a lie. I mean, I grew past my issues, but they were never gone. They were simply hiding. They were hidden. And I feel like there's something that erases my mind, yet there is something beyond nefarious that resides within this notion that is independent from me. And I feel like if I can just zoom in on it and understand it, then I can apply my own deductive mechanism, and then I can free myself from the moment at hand. I think the whole point is that life is a test for you to progress to a beautiful area, or for you to deteriorate into nothing and then never be considered for another life again. And you see, I'm a very, well, even I'm not intelligent, but I'm certainly speculative and creative. But I'm intelligent, yeah. I just don't like saying that. I got the urge to say, "You're very intelligent, aren't you, mad?" Or "I'm very intelligent." Yeah. But I feel there's beings from other worlds that speak to me and form my thought process and actions. I feel like spirits that are dead or alive will whisper things in my ear, and I'll learn, and so on. I feel like I will break through the conundrum of schizophrenia one day, even though it's impossible, by every means necessary, by every means there is, by every means period. I mean, you know. Anyways, I believe Jesus knows me. But see, the thing is who is Jesus? I think we all live repetitive lives in the sense that the characters can be very similar. I think this is so that if someone manages to summon entertainment, right, then there is a consistency. And I think in that way some planets are winners while other planets are losers. See, I cracked a lie. I uncovered the truth. I deducted the fantasy. I saw the details. So why couldn't I do it for the population? I happen to think that I actually, this is when it gets too far, so I'm going to stop. But why couldn't anyone, in the sense that if you become a psychic by defying the expectations that are laid upon you, right? Because the thing is, you'll have a set path. By deviating from that path, then you are to become a psychic. If you become a psychic, then there's always the chance that you can make the impossible possible, right? But the thing is we actually all own a reality, completely own a reality. We own every aspect of our reality, all of us, we do. I believe we all own each other's brain matter. Otherwise, quite a few things wouldn't make sense to me. And I believe through that we can either ignore or work on it. Ignore it or work on it. But the thing is everyone ignores it inherently, because there is no, like, it's never been found. But it is within your mind. You know, the amount of things within our mind that we don't find, it's kind of crazy. It's insane, actually. Yeah. Anyways, I'm convinced that the world could be saved one day, you know. I'm convinced I could really save the world, or that someone could save the world. But it would have to be a psychic who learned the coding mechanisms of our reality, because we're all coded, but not really. But our bodies are real, but our minds are coded, you know. We're all put through the expected paths of living. So yeah. Honestly, like, the amount of creativity overwhelms me. You know, I'll say a few things, okay? I deny it. I'm the shittiest creative on the block in a way. But I stand next to the professionals despite that. So it's not bad music that I make. I feel like I have the mindset of an innovative artist and a beautiful artist. I just kind of don't mind the hair, really. But I have the mindset of a beautiful artist. Yet, I don't execute my music well. But To me, those are two different things, and one day I'll get there. And so yeah, like my creativity is whack, right? Though, in a lot of ways, it's pretty good, like I said. So I'm thinking to myself, like, to be evolved requires to further your skill set. But what does it mean to be chosen? Well, being chosen would mean to be complete. But what if it is all done through the minds of sentience? To sentient minds. What if it is all done through that perspective? The judgment of people. It's a little bit like, the Quran. How you have to read it and accept the passages. My friend was telling me about this. In order to, you have to read it and accept the passages in order to be saved, right? That's kind of, except I see it as like a generalized thing. I see it as applying to everyone. We're living in a game in that way. That's why I think monetization, it would be the game's benefit. It would be the cheat codes, So yeah. But I'm the most fucked up guy ever, but not because of anything I did. Just to my mentality, dude. I'm the most fucked up guy ever. I could swear I have such weird derogatory thoughts, Like, it's almost like I'm tripping out 24/7. I could swear on that. I'm convinced one day I will find someone who loves me forever that goes beyond my family. And my friend on that. Go on that. But yeah. Anyways. So, gotta charge. Oh. Thank you for everything, lovely. You rule. And I hope some of this video made sense. See ya.